12th, 1926 in Fort Worth. So I'm a native Texan. I met my wife Jareen in kindergarten, and the story is that I went home, told my folks that I found my girlfriend. Well, I chased her for a long time. We went to what was then called junior high school together, and she invited me to be her escort during a May Fete affair. We graduated from Polytechnic in June of 46. No, 43.
43.
June of 43, and went immediately. She went to TCU and I went to North Texas Agricultural College, NTAC, in Arlington,
Oh, yeah.
which was then part of the A&M system. Well, I got my bachelor's degree and got my bachelor's degree in 2.5 years.
Wow.
Under that strenuous.
Were you going to, at that time, were you going to school like 12 months a year?
Yeah, we had
Three full
Three full
semesters a year.
semesters.
Yeah. And I had to take 81 hours my last 4 semesters in order to, because we had, I think, 143 hours or something like that to get a bachelor's at that time. So I got in the Navy V-12 program in January of 44, and they sent me to Austin. I sat down with a Navy man, and he said, "What do you want to be?" And I said, "I want to be a chemical engineer." He said, "We don't need chemical engineers, we need civil engineers." So I became a civil engineering student. I was the president of the Ramshorn Club and a member of the ASCE student chapter
Now, this was at the University of Texas,
at the University of Texas.
and you started there in...
Didn't have to say Austin then. So when we got married at the age of 19, we both had our bachelor's degrees.
Wow.
And then went back, and with the small amount of service I had, I was on the GI program and to get my master's degree, and took courses from Phil Ferguson and J. Niels Thompson and Dawson.
Raymond Dawson, yeah.
But
Raymond Dawson.
Raymond Dawson, yeah. I found out when I went to work for Simpson how little I really knew about the consulting business.
Yeah.
I knew the book stuff, but nothing practical. And thereby I learned it. And I was with Mr. Simpson, I think it was 19 years before he died. He was a man of very definite decisions. He made a decision and stayed with it. We did the Baylor Stadium, I remember that project. And finally I got to do some little things on my own. That meant that we not only designed it, but we did all the drafting.
Yeah.
We didn't have draftsmen. And
Were the engineers really doing their own drafting?
yeah. And that was with the triangles and T-squares. It wasn't with a computer. I am registered in both civil and structural. That was back in those early days when you could register in two
different areas.
disciplines. But had a long and varied career. I was project engineer on the Lila Cockrell Theater, one of the parts of the hemisphere development. And
You did design, y'all's firm did the Alma-Dome too, didn't it?
yes, we did the expansion at the airport. Before that, I was executive vice president, I think, when we did the airport expansion, and had a construction manager on it. And that was 93 million. So it was the biggest job that we had handled up to that point.
Up to that point, wow.
We won a number of national awards from ASCE and TSPE, and probably the most unique award that we won was Popular Mechanics.
Oh.
One of their awards, it was the only building that won a Popular Mechanics award.
Huh.
Well, we won a lot of awards, but we didn't make any money on it.
Did you try to get to visit all the student branches, student chapters as well?
Well, I did visit UT Austin at their invitation, and UTSA San Antonio, UT San Antonio, and A&M we were invited over there because Benoni
Right.
became president.
President from,
Yeah,
of the national.
he was the speaker, so even though I wasn't the speaker, we were invited over to meet with them. But I followed Wayne Klotz, and Wayne was a good one to follow because I learned a lot of management tools from him. The Texas section was in a financial bind, and Wayne Klotz was responsible for bringing us out of that.
Yeah.
Very, very smoothly. One of my goals was to increase at least one issue on the Texas Civil Engineer, and I think we accomplished that. Julie Kinfield was chair of that group that handled it. And I see a lot of these, like Julie Kinfield and Smith, and some of those younger people now have risen up to higher levels. Probably the most memorable was the national meeting in Orlando that we attended. And we got to meet some national officers, and we also got to visit the Disney World in its early days.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would say that my membership in ASCE has been the highlight of my professional life because of the friends and advice and technical papers that are presented, and just the whole aspect of the makeup of ASCE is geared toward increasing your professional life and your appreciation for others in the profession. So my advice to a student would be to join the student chapter, take responsibility, volunteer to be a leader, and that was the subject of one of
Your
papers.
talks. Well, you've given many papers and made some excellent reports on some of the really famous structures around San Antonio and Texas, and we'll be very indebted to you for many years for that, Doug. And you made a great contribution to the history and heritage of this state.
Well, thank you. My wife, of course, has been my partner and has been with me all the way, and we enjoyed our visits, the many visits we made during my year as president to the branches and student chapters and the national convention. We both enjoyed it immensely.